the new Jim Jones. Is this a cult, Troy?
I can't say it is. I don't know. I can't tell you that, Oprah. All I know is that it's it's something I've never seen before.
You can't or you won't?
I can't.
Okay.
I don't know enough about cults to tell you what it all entails. But all I know is it's something that a lot of people have never seen before. And I can't get the full story. I've been working on this for about a year now, and I still don't know what's going on. And so there's a lot more to it than, you know.
What is going on as you have been told, Ms. Stanton? Then I'll let you answer, Ms. Broussard.
Well, I feel like if it's not a cult, it's the closest thing to it. I wish I had said before when you asked me about, when he asked me what I saw down there, all I remember is the power slogans on the doors, the pictures of the strength and whatnot, and the readings, all the writings on the door, on the walls that they recite every day and they live by, and the complete control I think Mr. Broussard has. I know he has control over my daughter.
You think your daughter's brainwashed?
I certainly do.
You think you're brainwashed, Deborah?
No, ma'am.
You're not.
Can I,
Yeah, say whatever you wish.
Okay. In response to something she had said earlier about...
She, your mother, yeah.
Right. Medical care for my children. That is not right. In my opinion, my kids were fine, but I want to say this.
Your kids have been now taken away.
I want to say this, that as I grew up, I never remember going to a doctor, hardly.
Tell
and she is saying that she's talking about, you know, not taking to the doctors and stuff like that.
And so you're saying you weren't taken to the doctor?
No, I wasn't taken to the doctor. And for her to blame the group or anything like that, she can look at me and blame me for something like that. And you can even, you know, examine my kids. They are fine. They are healthy.
I did blame you. And I told you, I got real sarcastic. I said that all of a sudden now we have doctors in the family.
And that's where I get upset, because the media have them going back and forth like
Media doesn't have a darn thing to do with that.
She's not studied our group, Oprah.
I'm sorry. I can't accept the fact that the media is responsible for her comments.
If she's never studied the group, if she's never been
I've
one
never
time...
had an opportunity. Every time I ask my daughter about the group, she says, I'm not qualified to tell you. You have to talk to somebody.
Have you ever asked
me? When my daughter tried to talk to somebody...
Have you ever asked me?
I have never asked you. My daughter tried 3 times. The last time you told her, if you want to learn about me, you told somebody, your spokesperson, to tell my daughter to read Romans.
Yes, you say what?
If you had asked me, you would have gotten through.
Yes, you're
you said
I don't believe that.
I've been frustrated for 10 years because, well, there's 8 of us, and Debbie was a sister I was closest to growing up.
Deborah is your sister.
Yeah. I don't know her anymore because I have tried, like he's up here crying about not getting a fair chance. I didn't get a fair chance from him when I tried to talk to him. It is true. The last time, what did you, the message you gave me, I believe
it was about October. A year before that message, you were given an open chance to come down to the facility and have a debate with him. If you didn't play around with the debate, you were given a chance and you did not have
time. And if I wanted to know about him, I was supposed to read something in Romans. Okay? So I called his father then, since I couldn't get him, and I had about a 2-hour conversation with him. And after he told me that if you're not a Christian, you're nothing but dirt, then I said, okay, that's it, I know. I understand now.
Who said that?
Your father.
I don't believe that.
I know. Well, you didn't talk, so you don't know what went on.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I know you don't believe.
So you think? Let me ask you this: you think you have lost your sister to a cult?
Yes. Lost a sister. I mean, what she's saying as far as relationship, that's not true. We never had that kind of relationship.
Yeah, I'm not surprised she's saying that.
We never did.
No,
I never did have that relationship with you.
I'm not surprised she's saying that.
It doesn't hurt you that she says that?
From the beginning.
Well, like I said, for 10 years. I finally, you know.
Let her finish.
Yeah.
Stop the music.
After all the media coverage last year, I finally came to peace with Debbie because she's an adult and she made her own decision. But I don't know what happens to the letters that I've written you over the years, but the last letter I wrote was Valentine's Day. And this is what I told you. And I told you that now my main concern, yeah, it was addressed to you too. But my main, I don't know what happens to the letters, okay, that's what I'm saying. But I told you my main concern now is the children. That's all I care about, yeah. And now...
the children are now in protective custody. Your children were in that house? Were in the house, were among the 55 children taken out of the house? Deborah, your children were among those children?
My children are in the group.
Okay. Are your children now in protective custody? They are.
They are.
Okay.
And no one has made any moves to reclaim these children, too, and it's placed a big strain on the state right now.
That's not true.
I have made a move.
That's according to the authorities.
See, the authorities told you that's not true.
We'll be right back.
To have open minds here today and accept what you have to say about your organization, and you've accused the media of so much. You've not shared anything with us. Anytime anybody's asked you any questions, you've been very closed about what you can say about the organization. This would have been a prime time for you to just clear up any negativities that are, being said about it.
Sir, what is your source of income?
My source of income. I have no source of income except for what I do with the group.
Okay, your question is what?
He says brutality is a matter of interpretation. His daughter died. How more brutal could that be? Shall we use Watts as the standard to determine what is determining the severity of child abuse? I think not. I'd rather go by what determines child abuse in Oregon than Watts. I think that is a more acceptable standard for most of the people in the United States.
Fine. But if we could get out of Watts and live in Oregon, we could probably get the same situation.
Mm-hmm. You were living in Oregon.
We were not allowed to move in there and set up a peaceful situation for us to begin to survive in. The moment we got in there, ma'am, they descended on us. We were coming to Oregon to do exactly what you just stated, and we were not allowed.
Died in Oregon, not in Watts.
In protective custody, what's going to happen to the children, Mr. Broussard?
As far as we're concerned, we're going to fight with everything in us to get our children back. We believe they're with us, and that's the best place for them to be.
Someone asked a question. That was a good question over here. We don't have time to answer, but what Dana Broussard did to deserve to be beaten, brutally or otherwise, as you say, beaten to death. I don't know the answer to that question. Perhaps it'll be answered in the trial. Thank you very much. Thank you. For written transcripts, send $3 to Oprah Transcripts, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 100.
A former member of the Ecclesia religious group has come forward following 8-year-old Dana Broussard's tragic death last Friday to talk about why he left the group.
Because it started to turn into chaos and, like I say, fornication, and people started to just turn into a fake type of organization. It wasn't real anymore to me.
Dana's father and Ecclesia's founder, Eldridge Broussard, denies that his group is a cult and has gone on national television to accuse the media of responsibility for his daughter's death.
I have come, Oprah, to challenge you to investigate this case with me. That's why I'm here. I don't believe anyone else will give me a chance. You don't come and see this.
What I want to know is why you're so emotional right now.
I'm emotional because I've walked around for close to 8 years as a suspected Jimmy Jones. I have never been given an opportunity to defend myself in the right forum.
But Jones claims that Ecclesia members are controlled by Broussard.
He's just a manipulator. He knows what he's doing, and he'll capture the hearts of anybody that will step in there and make everything seem real, but it's not.
Victor Jones' sister is still a member of the controversial group, and he'd like to see her get out.
We've tried to a certain extent, but I don't think that they want to leave. I mean, they're deep into it that far, you know. I think they're really deep into it that they don't want to leave because El is more or less God to them.
In South Central Los Angeles, this is Maggie Cooper, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
The fight to save 3 California gray whales
have ever been a part of black culture as a way of raising children. I know parents spank their children or use spanking as a means of discipline, but that's not unique to black culture.
Reverend Thomas Hill's statement refers to the latest claim by Ecclesia founder Eldridge Broussard that blacks discipline their children differently than whites and/or other ethnic groups. Broussard's statements were made on Thursday's Oprah Winfrey Show. Authorities allege that members of the Ecclesia group were systematically beaten with various objects. It was the death of 8-year-old Dana Broussard that brought on this recent legal and public attention. In the meantime, Reverend Hill has a warning for parents.
I think parents have to be even responsible when they are giving their children over to organizations that are operating in the name of religion or a particular church or denomination. I think people have to be careful, ask what's going on, see what's going on, and make a judgment as to whether or not that is in line with your understanding. And if you have questions, maybe do some more research.
In Los Angeles, Dana James, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
A Huntington Beach man is facing